Hello and welcome to the Nurse RX. In today's video, I'll be doing a potato, egg, and bacon breakfast bowl. Here, I have two large sized potatoes already cut and washed. I have pre-cooked some bacon for you for time purposes. I like to use thick cut bacon. I have half of an onion, but we'll only be using a half of that. Next, I have some mozzarella cheese. Okay, we'll be using that in our eggs. And I have some finely shredded mild cheddar cheese. For our spices, we have black pepper. We will also be using paprika. Next, we'll be using garlic powder, fine garlic powder. And last, for right now, we'll be using parsley flakes. I also have 2 large eggs, some tomatoes. You can use any tomatoes you would like. And let's just get everything organized here. I'll be cutting up my potatoes. I'll take my potato, I will cut it in half, then take that half and cut it in half as well. I'll do that for each potato. And for each section, I will slice it into 3 sections and then cut across. I will be doing that for each potato and cutting straight across for each section. We use a lot of potatoes in our home, so potatoes are a staple in our diet. We love potatoes. We like to mix and match them in many different ways. This will be the size of the potato here. It'll be a medium-sized potato. So the first potato is cut up. I will then put it in this bowl here to get that out of the way, so I can start using our second potato to cut up. Next, I'll take our second potato and do the same thing. I will cut that in half. I will take that half and cut it in half, and so forth for each potato. Cut each potato into 3 sections and then cut across into medium-sized cubes for each section. So forth and so on, and we will do that for each section of potato that we cut. Now that all of the potatoes are cut there, I have now rinsed all of our potatoes. To get out that extra starch from our potatoes, I will set that aside, and now I will take this onion. Well, before I do that, let's add these spices to our potatoes. I have the garlic powder. I will tilt the bowl here so you can see it better. I will be sure to use a clear bowl next time so you all can see our ingredients better. But for right now, this is what we're working with, you guys, and we're gonna make it work. Next, we have the paprika for that beautiful color. To add beautiful color to our potatoes, we want a nice presentable bowl. Next, we're gonna add a little dash of pepper for taste. It's coming together nicely. And last, we have some parsley flakes. Yes, we love parsley flakes. So we're going to add that to our dish as well. And hands are clean. Always wash your hands before cooking. Now I'm going to mix all the potatoes. Get all the ingredients together. Nice, and everything is coated very, very lovely. Next, we're going to set that bowl to the side. We're going to clean up our cutting board here. Typically, I like to use 2 cutting boards when I cook, but for time purposes, I just use this one and clean it off with a clean paper towel. So I can now start dicing my onion. I have half an onion, but I'm going to cut that half in half. Use as much onion as you like. We're going to take those and chop those into chunky pieces. Okay, not too fine. We want to see some onions in our breakfast bowl. Beautiful, lovely. And now we're going to add those onions to our potato mix. Yes, add that to the potatoes. It will give your potatoes a nice fragrance and a beautiful, beautiful taste. Mix it all together like so. Everything is turning out so nicely. Beautiful. Yes. Now we are going to take some green peppers. I have some green peppers that I cut up and froze, so I will be using those for this recipe. And those green peppers will give it a nice flavor as well and add a beautiful color to our breakfast bowl. We're going to simply add this to our bowl. And like I said, you guys, next time I will be sure to use a clear container so you can see all the ingredients better. But for right now, I will just, tilt it over so you can see it, and you will see the final presentation at the end. But that's how everything looks mixed together. Next, we're going to start cooking our potatoes. I like to use a plastic spatula or spoon when I'm using my cooking, when I'm cooking in the kitchen. I don't like to use metal on my kitchenware because it can scrape, and I don't like the sound of that scraping on any of my cookware. It's like nails on the chalkboard. Some people like that sound, but like Miss Tabitha Brown, honey, she said, baby, if you like it, that's your business. If you like that scratching sound, great for you. I do not like it, and I do not want to mess up my cookware. Now, we are back over here. We're going to make the egg mixture. We're going to crack 2 large size eggs. 1 egg there. I got a little piece of shell that I'm going to get out of that egg. Please make sure there are no shells in your egg mixture. Crack the 2nd egg. Place it in the bowl as such. Now, I'm going to grab another utensil. I'm going to chop up my grape tomatoes. Like I said, you can use any tomato that you would like. I wanted to use grape tomatoes today. They were small, quick, easy to cut that I can put into my egg mixture. I'm going to use 2 of those. Put in as many in there as you would like, according to the size bowls and the number of bowls you'll be making. I'll be making 1 bowl today, so I just needed a couple of grape tomatoes to put into my mixture. Next, I'm going to add my spices. I'm going to add a tiny pinch of pepper. And now I have a little pinch of garlic powder. A little pinch of salt. I don't like to add too much salt to my food, but I just needed a little pinch today for flavor. And we're going to mix all those spices in with the eggs. Very lovely. Everything's being mixed together perfectly. Just beautiful. Now we're going to add some parsley flakes for fragrance and color. We don't want a bland bowl. We want to make it nice and beautiful and flavorful all at the same time. Food does not have to be boring. Okay, great. Now we're going to add some mild cheddar cheese. I like to add cheese into my egg mixture as well as after on top. So we can have a nice cheesy egg bowl. Everything's being mixed together very nicely. Beautiful. Everything is coming together so lovely. And now we're going to add chives. I did not add onions to this particular egg bowl because I knew I was going to add chives. And chives give it that nice fragrance that an onion would and the taste. So I decided to use chives instead, which worked out perfectly. Everything smells so wonderful. We're going to set that to the side. And now we're going to head back over to the stove top. My potatoes are cooking in the background, as you can tell. I cut a tiny sliver of butter to put into my skillet here. I am now going to add my egg mixture to my skillet. Just going to mix it around a little bit more before I pour in there. Make sure your oven is heated up nicely before adding. Not scalding, not too cool, but just right. You don't want to burn your eggs and you don't want to add it too soon. So now everything is cooking up beautifully. I like to let my eggs sit for a little bit. I do not like very super scrambly eggs. I like a firm scramble that's not too choppy. Now I'm just mixing up my potatoes in the back so each side gets covered and cooked and comes out nice and crispy. We want nice crispy potatoes for our breakfast bowl. So every portion is going to get cooked up very, very nicely. Perfect. Wonderful. I like to multitask in the kitchen. It makes it easier. Take your plastic cookware and you're going to just mix your eggs very, very nicely. If you want to use metal, that's your business. I like to use plastic. I'm actually in the market for new cookware now, so I can get some new cookware that is not scratched, and so I can have more longevity in my cooking appliances and cookware and utensils and things of that nature. So we're going to cook those eggs up beautifully there. I have more potatoes to add for later. I wanted to do one layer in the skillet. So therefore all the potatoes get cooked. I do not like to overload them all at one time. Continue to scramble those eggs to your liking. Like I said, we like our eggs firm and hard. Not too hard, but hard enough to where it's not runny. Perfect. We're going to turn that eye off and place that in the back there. Now we're back in the island. Look at our potatoes, you guys. Nice, crispy, beautiful color. If you can smell my kitchen right now, it smells like heaven. We're going to take another utensil here and we're just going to take some of those potatoes and transfer it into another bowl. I always put a paper towel underneath another bowl to soak up some of the olive oil before transferring into a clean bowl, so it's not too heavy or too greasy. Wonderful. So that is our base for our potatoes. Next, I'm going to add my eggs on top here. Once we get our eggs on top, we are going to spread it out across our potatoes. Beautiful. So that's what we have so far. Wonderful. Next, we're going to add our cheese on top. We're going to start with our mozzarella cheese. Take a little sprinkle it on top to your liking. Gonna layer some cheeses here, and now we're gonna use our finely shredded mild cheddar cheese. Sprinkle that on top like so. And now we're gonna add some parsley flakes. For fragrance and color, we want a nice, beautiful bowl with presentation. Sprinkle that on top of your egg bowl. And that's how it looks so far. And last, we're going to chop up this thick bacon. I like a thick bacon because it's more meaty. I do not eat the meat. I do not eat bacon. This is for my husband. This is his breakfast bowl. I would do turkey bacon myself or turkey sausage. But since this is his bowl, I took some thick cut bacon and I am now going to place it on top like so. So every part of your bowl has some bacon, so each time you bite, you get that nice, beautiful, just flavorful bowl. Wonderful, beautiful. That is our bowl, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me